Ichiban Kukadi here. I'm a filmmaker. I recently moved to Canada. It was like recently, 3 years ago, still fairly recently. Moved to Canada from Nigeria, and we're here. I am here. I would say I started filming in Regina specifically, because obviously that's where I moved to, Saskatchewan. I think sometime around 2019, November-ish, I would believe. Yeah. Was it? Nah. 2020. Yeah, because 2019 I was still trying to, get my bearing in this new environment. Yeah, I think 2020. Yeah, 2020 November. Yeah. Filmmaking generally all over the world is kind of like the same process. You have a concept, you develop a plan, you execute. Now, in Saskatchewan, execution is where the problem is. Yeah. Because I'll take you back a couple years, precisely when I first got into Canada, into Regina, Saskatchewan. I met up with a couple of, filmmakers in the city, and the constant thing they said was filmmaking in Regina, yeah, not so good, because obviously at some point the government took away a grant, and then all the filmmakers had to run away to Toronto, Vancouver, where filmmaking was a business, so to say. So that obviously created a challenge, because, hey, a lot of things became inaccessible. Experienced crew, high-end equipment. Everything just facilitates the process of filmmaking. Yeah, it's a challenge in Regina. It's a challenge, but I take in all the air in the room, and I just find a way to make it work, one way or the other. For me, I wouldn't say black identity. Actually, I would phrase it more specifically and say my Nigerian identity, because in as much as I'm a black man, I am a Nigerian first, by birth, by choice, by orientation, by induction, by everything. I am a Nigerian first. So I would say how my Nigerian identity has influenced my creativity. It's pretty obvious. Most of my creative ideas stems from my upbringing, my Nigerian influences, be it music, be it art, be it culture, be it anything. Most of my creativity stems from that, and it's a huge influence on how I do things, right? Because the Nigerian environment just enables you to always think out of the box. So my evolution has made it possible for me to be able to superimpose different scenarios on myself. I have upon that ability, and it really, really shows in my creativity. So yes, my Nigerian identity definitely influences how I do my craft. I think accessibility to what I would need to create great content would be one major challenge. And it sounds like just one word, but hardly any access to, very good equipment, hardly any access to experienced crew, hardly any access to a whole lot of stuff. That is a major challenge to creating content here. And money is not easy to come by in Canada. You always have to work, and the bills pop in, and then you find it hard to put something aside to create. And everybody goes through that. Everybody that wants to create content goes through that. They have to think first about their bills, and then more bills. And then to add to that, accessibility to things that can help you create great content. So for me, I would say accessibility is the major challenge. Yeah. The best thing about being a Nigerian creator, in Saskatchewan, is the fact that I get to show off. Yeah, it's the fact that I get to show off. I get to show off an angle that a lot of people here are not used to. A perspective that people here find wow. But for me, it's just, it's a normal thing. And that stems from my background, that stems from my culture, that stems from my influences growing up as a Nigerian man. For me, it's very, very gratifying when I do stuff on set, say a set design, and people pause and look at me like, yo, this guy has to be from Mars. No, I'm from Nigeria. That's the key thing. That's the key ingredient. The influences are strong, and yes, that's one thing I enjoy, being able to wow people, with my creativity. It's satisfying. I don't know how many very, very satisfying. I'll play a little bit of the, should I call it devil's advocate here? I feel, even though with the grant that was taken off, right, I still feel a lot can be exploited, right, to help you, become a better version of you in whatever craft. What is needed is that dogged drive, pressure makes diamonds. That dogged drive, above all odds, just make it happen. That's one, because passion never dies. It takes a break. It might take a break. It might take a setback, but it never dies. And I'll describe this as a train. You can't stop it. It might slow down to a crawl, but you can't stop it. So that is very much needed. That's one thing I feel is very much needed to speed track, Black artistry in this city. People have to step out and come do things. Yeah, funding also very, very necessary, but you can do a lot by yourself. If you want to get seen, strike the match, light the candle. Then start a fire. Israel Adesanya. And if you know that name, you'd ask, why would that pop up? It pops up because he's a martial artist and the best. Right now, he's the current UFC middleweight champion of the world. And the reason why I mentioned him is that despite what, pundits and, naysayers have said about him in his MMA career, he beat all the odds. And right now he's looking undefeatable. I listen to his podcast, follow his YouTube channel, and man has a lot of wisdom. And the way he doses out, he doles it out with so much goofiness, you might almost not want to take him seriously. So for me, Israel Adesanya, I listen to him a lot, and I also watch him a lot. In music, for me, Seal, man has a voice, the voice, powerful. His messages, lyrics, more powerful. Yeah, and for me, what the aura he emanates, right, is so palpable. Man has a huge scar on his face. A very huge scar, very prominent, and he carries it with so much pride, with so much confidence. He's a supermodel. Yeah, so nothing should stop you. Nothing can stop you. Even when it looks so apparent that this should be some kind of stumbling block to you, nothing should stop you. Another person would be Sade Adu. Goddess. Timeless. The music never ages. The woman never ages. I don't know how she does it. Sade Adu. Then, World. He's a Nigerian artist, contemporary R&B, soul. Pop, if you might. I love his music. I love his voice. Great guy. And number 4, I think. Is it 4 or 5? 5. Yeah, number 5. Number 5 is perhaps the most important of these people I'm mentioning. And it happens to be me. Yeah, me. Myself. I. What else? Me, myself, and I. 3 in 1. almost like the Trinity, right? And I believe I'm never wrong. And I believe more that even when I'm wrong, I actually meant to be wrong. I should put that on my wall. Yeah. I will put that on my wall. Project I'm working on. I so happen to be working on it right now. I'm currently editing this lovely content for Sax Music, and I also do have a couple of music videos in the pipeline. Those are always interesting because it's a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, a lot of yelling on set. I enjoy yelling. Yeah, don't mind me. So yeah, that's it. Big shout out to what I consider as the first born child of Africa, Nigeria. Big shout out to Nigerians all over the world. You know how we do. You know now. You know how to run on now. Never say die. We move. And yes, oh, my manners. Sax Music. Hey guys, thank you so much for putting this together. It's wonderful. It makes everybody feel included. It makes everybody feel better about themselves. And I'm sure it's going to make everybody do better and, be more productive. Being recognized is what every human being wants. There's a reason why it's called a community. There's a reason why it's called a society. Every man, in fact, every living thing wants to belong to, a bigger body of living things. So thank you, Sax Music, for taking this initiative. It's applaudable. It's divine. Thank you. And also, I like to a big shout out to my family, my wife, my kids. Oh, my first daughter, Oluwabukun. My splitting image. She's gonna be better than me. Yeah. And friends, family, and yes, PCB, Brian Mendoza, Pacific. These guys are 3 artists in Regina. Yes, I said Regina, Saskatchewan. And they are exceptional. The reason why I'm particularly giving out a shout out to them is these guys, not knowing me, although they saw my work and they loved it, not knowing me, they gave me the opportunity to, work with them on their various projects, musical projects, music videos. A big shout out to them. Also a big shout out to Chief Zone, also an artist here based in Regina. There are lots of artists in Regina. And they're not just lots, they are talented. Oh boy. Regina, Saskatchewan, watch out. In due time, you will know you have gems. I wouldn't say the word littered, but there's so much. You have gems everywhere. Dig them out. Wash them. They'll shine. Peace out.